Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Barbara and today we're going to be talking about a very relevant topic in sustainability, greenwashing. So we're going to be discussing what it is, why it matters, and both about the companies that have been accused of doing it and the companies that are actively trying not to do so. But before we start, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on our channel and look out for our next video. Okay, so before we begin with anything, we need to explain what greenwashing actually is. So greenwashing is essentially when companies just make false or misleading claims about the environmental benefits of their products and practices. So this can deceive consumers who genuinely actually want to make sustainable choices and buy sustainable products. And they actually make the consumers then believe that their products and services are more sustainable than they actually are. So essentially, it's all about creating a facade of sustainability to promote themselves, but not actually being sustainable in the first place. Okay, so let's first dive into some companies that actually have been accused of greenwashing. So first up, we have Delta Airlines. So Delta Airlines has actually faced a lot of criticism in the past and quite recently actually about their sustainability initiatives and really the lack of transparency about their plans for the future on being more sustainable because, as you know, of course, airlines use a lot of fossil fuels. And so really just despite pledging to achieve net zero emissions by 2050, just their lack of these concrete plans is the reason why they have ultimately been accused of greenwashing their customers. So the next company we're talking about is Primark, the clothing brand. So Primark, as we all know, is a fast fashion industry, and despite actually launching a recent sustainable clothing line, they still are a mass producer of clothes, which inherently is very unsustainable. So this way, by promoting this one single line of sustainable clothing, they're trying to shield from the reality of that most of their clothes are still unsustainably produced, and therefore they're also greenwashing their customers. And lastly, we have Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola has actually also faced allegations of greenwashing due to its marketing campaigns emphasizing recycling and sustainability while continuing to produce massive amounts of plastic. So the company has promoted its efforts to use recycled materials and reduce plastic waste, yet it remains one of the largest producers of plastic bottles in the world. Critics actually argue that Coca-Cola's initiatives are more actually about, again, improving public perception, making themselves look good in a certain way, other than actually producing bottles that are sustainable or that are from recycled plastic. But beyond just these companies that we know are greenwashing us and manipulating us into thinking that what we are purchasing is actually sustainable, are there companies we can still trust in knowing that they actually do care about sustainability? So the answer is yes. So the first company on our list is Patagonia. So Patagonia is actually a standout example of a company that has actually made efforts towards sustainability. A really good thing that Patagonia does is that instead of simply saying that they are very sustainable and doing certain things and boasting about their environmental impact, they are acknowledging the impact that their practices and their company has on the environment, and they are rather trying to minimize it, which is equally as important. So one of their most famous campaigns, Don't Buy This Jacket, was launched on Black Friday, and this campaign aimed to encourage consumers to think critically about their consumption habits and only buy what they truly needed. So this campaign basically encouraged the consumers to critically think about their consumption habits and what they actually need. So the goal of this campaign was to tell the consumer, do you really need this jacket? And have you considered the impact you are creating on the environment when you purchase it? Which is quite an interesting way of promoting yourself because ultimately every company wants to make profit. And if you tell the consumer not to buy your product, you are sort of contradicting yourself. But at the same time, they were at least self-aware. Next up on the list is Ben and Anna, which is a small business that focuses on creating vegan and cruelty-free natural personal care products. They also go above and beyond on focusing to have all of their personal care products vegan, cruelty-free, and organic, and they have already received 2 certifications, NATRU and Vegan Society. So some overall tips that I want to give you into trying to avoid greenwashing, but at the same time also making a sustainable purchasing decision is to look out for very vague statements. This is usually very typical that all the companies that we've previously mentioned usually just gave very vague statements about that they will do this and that, and it actually never pans out, or they actually just do it for the lack of doing it. Also, it's important to look into the history of your company. So see where they started, how they have moved throughout the production process, so you can really see whether or not this company is actually making a change. And of course, also, it's important to look at third-party certifications, whether or not they're certified or whether or not they have been acknowledged as a sustainable company. So all of these aspects are something to take into consideration when you are making these decisions. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please, if you did like, please like and subscribe, and watch out for our next video. Bye!